and good afternoon of those who are based in Beijing. Welcome to join our webinar. We start now, and because we have about 40 participants for our webinar, so we cannot. You have to leave your questions on the chat box. So we can make the answers during the presentation or at the end of the presentation. So we cannot let you raise your hands and ask you to ask a question. So please leave your questions in the chat box. Now we start our presentation, and today I will make some introduction about China's standardization on intelligent and connected vehicles. So first, I would like to make some introduction about the SASAC project, who we are and why we are here to make the introduction of China standards in ICV. First, we are I am the seconded European standardization expert in China. This project is funded by 5 European standardization related partners, including European Commission, and they are making the full 80% of the funding of our project, and they are as the European Union member. We both know that European Commission is the executive body of European Union and responsible for registration, and they also are also working on standardization. So that's why they give us the project funding. And also another government organization is the European Free Trade Association, EFTA, and also three European standardization organizations, and they are SAN, European Committee for Standardization, SINLAC, European Committee for Electrotechnical Standardization, and ESSI, European Telecommunication Standards Institute. So what is SASAC about? SASAC is working on promoting EU and China dialogue and cooperation in the area of standardization. SASAC project, the second European standardization expert project, has experienced 3 phases from SASAC 1, SASAC 2 to SASAC 3. And we are currently in SASAC 4, which will last 3 years from 2018 to 2021. And our project is managed by SAM and supported by a steering committee involved with all 5 partners. The representatives from 5 partners will give us the guideline and working orders. So basically, what we do is to promote the cooperation between China and the EU on standardization. So this is the goal. The goal is to support European policy and European standardization organizations' strategic objectives in China, and to enhance the EU-China cooperation in standardization. And also we support to set up the framework cooperation agreement between European standardization organizations like SAN-LAC and ESSI with China counterparts, SAC. So what we do in China, first, we promote European and international standards in China. Basically, we try to promote the European new legislation framework, European directives, and also how European standards will work in Europe and in international level. And we improve the context between the project partners and different level of Chinese administrations. So we try to make the dialogue between the partners between China and the EU. We enhance the visibility and understanding of European standardization systems in China. And we also gather regulatory and standardization intelligence in China. So we also undertake technical lobby when it is necessary, or if we get the order from European Commission or from the 5 partners, or we get the request from the European industries on doing technical lobby for Chinese stakeholders or Chinese regulators. And this is a current priority topics. We can see on the left hand is horizontal technical priorities, which covers Internet of Things, and today Internet of Vehicle, security, artificial intelligence, and 5G in digitalization of industry, automatic transport, which is today's topic, medical devices. And on the horizontal political priorities, we cover standards, China Standards 2035, One Belt One Road related standards issues, standardization reform in China, Made in China 2025, and some institutional changes in Chinese government which will influence the standardization activity, and also some market access like CCC for today, and CCC. But today we will focus on automatic transport or smart transportation, and a small part of that, which is ICV. Now let us focus on the development of intelligent connected vehicle ICV standard system in China. First, what is the definition of ICV? So in the international level, there are also many discussions, and we do not have very confirmed definition for ICV at this moment. But in China, ICV are pretty much defined. It is defined as a future generation of vehicles that are able to achieve the exchange and the sharing of information between vehicles and other factors, such as individuals, vehicles, roads, and the clothes, V2X. And also the vehicles that allow the awareness of complex surroundings, as well as intelligent decision-making. The vehicles that are able to realize safe, efficient, comfortable, and energy-saving driving, and may carry out driving operations independently of human being. So basically, this is a definition that quoted from a government official document, which is a draft strategy for innovation and development of ICV. It is released in January 2018 by NDIC. We basically see that there are, at some extent, definition of ICV in China now. So the actors and the regulators of ICV in China, basically ICV is also defined as part of Internet of Vehicle. Internet of Vehicle is a very big system, and it is more comprehensive. It's involved not only the vehicles, but also traffics, communications, public security, the transportation, infrastructure, and etc. So ICV in China and also IOV in China are managed by many different organizations and departments. So basically, 4 are very key and critical on making regulations and policies, and also the market access and the future technical roadmaps for ICV in China. So they are NDRC, China National Committee for Reform, for Development and Reform Committee, the MIT Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, and also the Ministry of Transportation. The last and also very important one is Ministry of Public Security. In these 4 different ministries, they are all under the management of State Council. And MIT is in the leading position on guiding and managing the IOV industry and design the standardization framework for its development. So targets of intelligent and connected vehicle ICV in China. So why we have to connect all the vehicles. If you think if we think deeply, we will see that what kind of information can the vehicle be collecting or transforming to the internet, and how can the system manage the information involved with the vehicles. But in China, in Made in China 2025, MIT have announced the following goals for ICV. So basically, by 2021, it will reduce the traffic accidents by more than 30%. The ICV should set safe autonomous driving speeds of 120 kilometers per hour, and it will have lower energy consumption by 10%, and reduce the emissions by more than 20%. So basically, it shows the target or the goals of internet connected vehicle, which is reduce accidents, reduce consumption, and also reduce the emission. And also, it is not making the traffic efficient or intelligent transportation goal in 2025, but in other documents, it also set up the goals. In China automotive industry mid to long-term development plan, it pretty much set new energy automotives and also intelligent and connected vehicles as the two K technologies and 2K industries which will be developed in the next 5-10 years. And also another document, strategies for innovation and the development of ICV, which are drafted by NDRC in 2018 and then published by 11 ministries in February 2020. And in 2018, it has already set up the target of ICV industry development, which are by 2020, China should achieve an ICV penetration rate of 50%. It means that every 50% of new produced cars are ICV. And also the long-term LEV vehicle to everything, V2X, will cover 90% in the big cities and also the highways. And also the nationwide will have the coverage of a Beidou navigation system. And then by 2025, the ICV penetration rate will reach 100%. And also ICV standards are expected to take in a leading global leading role by 2035. So basically, China take the ICV standards in a very high, very serious profile. Important documents, which are the guidelines for establishment of Internet of Vehicles national standard system, which are published by MIT and SAC in December 2017. Other documents are later published in Strategy for Innovation and the Development of ICV, and also ICV Industry Development Action Plan by MIT in 2018. So basically, if you are working on ICV technology and if you have business in China, it's better to read or check all these key documents for the ICV development. And today we will focus on the red one, which are the Internet of Vehicle IOV national standards system. So in the technology roadmap of ICV, which are regulated in the document in 2016 and 2017, it pretty much regulated several policy regulation paths and also technical paths for the Internet of Vehicles, IOV. So basically, it covers the regulations of the IOV development, the road testing, how to do that and when to do that, and some requirements for that. And also the horizontal privacy and security requirements for IOV or ICV, and also the information communication systems, the electronics products and services, and intelligent connected vehicles, and also the intelligent vehicle management, like the outside the car systems, and also the intelligent transportation. So basically, five technical paths, and 3 horizontal paths have been regulated in this roadmap. So based on the technology roadmap regulated by my MIT, and also in 2017, based on that technological roadmap, MIT together with MPS and MOST and SAC developed the national standard system for Internet of Vehicles. It also still covers 5 technical paths: information communication, which are how the Internet of Vehicles will be communicate, what kind of technology it will use, whether it use GSM 5G or use the 802.11 standards. But basically in China, GSM and telecommunication protocols are winning, while the short range connection standards 802.11 are not in the consideration of information communication system in China anymore. Although European industries are lobbying that China should have mutual for standards, mutual for technology, and let the industry to choose the proper technology they will use in IOV. But we will see we will still observe the future development in this area. The second one is electronics products and services inside the car or outside the car. So basically, it's in the bottom of the whole system, which is regarded as the electronics products inside the car, and also the services inside the car. And then second, in the middle one is the intelligent connected vehicles. So this is basically the vehicle itself. What kind of vehicle it should be? It should be intelligent. It should be connected to the system and to everything. So V2X to everything, and it also should have a lot of other features like communication, like security. Anyway, all the technology or parts or the standards you use inside the car are regarded as a standards of intelligent connected vehicle. And then the second one is intelligent vehicle management system. Basically, it is the used for the this part is managed by China Ministry of Public Security, which are the plate of the vehicle, and also the registration of the vehicle, the driver license stuff, or sort of management of public security related public related vehicle management. The last one is the intelligent transportation. In this part actually is managed in China by Ministry of Transportation. Basically, it will pretty much related to the roads, to the highways, through the infrastructure, and how to control the transportation streams, and how to make the artificial intelligent methodology on having more efficient transportation inside the whole city, sort of thing. And the standardization system are also very important for Ministry of Transportation, but it is a coordinated system. And the picture show the system. But anyway, in China, China believes that national laws and regulations are in the higher level, and the middles are the backbone of the standardization system for ICV, for telecommunication, for the vehicle management, for intelligent transportation. And in the bottom line, they think that standard system for electronic products and services can be made as a bottom and as a fundamental standards for the parts or the components inside the vehicle. So the roadmap of IOV standards, as we mentioned, the guideline for construction of national standard system of IOV, but basically the other sub-documents, general principles in ICV, information communication, electronic products and services. So basically all these six sub-documents actually are published in different time. For example, the very first one was published in 2017, which are ICV. And then the ICV standards plan set up the target of establish the standard system of ICV. And also it sets over 30 key standards for ICV. And also in 2020, it also have more targets to further establish the standard system and to support high-level autonomous driving. And also it set up over 100 key standards for ICV. And then in 2018, 3 documents are published, general principles for IOA. So it will see the how to establish the standards system for IOA. And also the information and the communications were is published in 2020, June 2020 as well. It set up the target of developing standard system for LET, C2X, Car2X based wireless communication network and key technologies. And also it's set the target of explore the 5G applications for IOA. And also the in another document, electronics products and services standardization system for IOA was published in June 2018 as well. So the target is to set up the software, the electronics products and onboard software of IOA. And also it is set up to the target of completing the key technical standards and test standards for products, for electronic products and services platform. And in late 2019, in April 2020, actually in April 2020, the vehicle intelligent management system was published to set and revise key standards for registration management, identification, authentication and safety of ICV. And also they will set up the management of intelligent vehicles, and will manage the vehicle registration and other public issues intelligently. The last one is the it just will be published soon. Intelligent transportation system. So it is still under the stage of soliciting opinions or call for public comments from July to August 2020, and it is estimated to be published in end of 2020 or early 2021. So basically, the story is that all the system are leading by MIT, but MIT really need to coordinate with Ministry of Transportation on intelligent transportation system, because it is there's still some interoperability issues between the vehicles and the infrastructures, and also the intelligent transportation protocols or some similar issues in this area. And also the second bottom one, the vehicle intelligent management is managed by Ministry of Public Security. They also have their own agenda. So there's a lot of coordination work being done in these different departments and ministries in China. So based on the ICV, so we focus on the ICV standardization system. So based on the document published in 2017, the ICV standards are pretty much divided by 4 parts. So like a foundation, general principles, products and technical applications, and some other standards. It will cover like terms and definition, category and coding, marks and signs, function and evaluation, user interface, function security, information security, and also the decision warning, the autonomous control and information exchange. A lot of things are covered in this plan, and how it can be delivered and what is the situation now in 2020. First, let us talk about who is doing standards for ICV in China. So basically, the first KICV standards developer is NTCAS, so National Technical Committee of Auto Standardization, so SACTC 114. So and also there it is based in Kadak. Kadak is China Automotive Technology and Research Center. So it is a state-owned enterprises, and it holds the secretariat of National Committee of Auto Standardization. So TC114 and TC114, there are several different essays. So basically, all the car-related standards and regulations are made or drafted by TC114. The regulation will need to be approved by MIT, but vehicle-related inside the vehicle are pretty much managed by Kadak, by SACTC 114. So and SACTC 114, there are a subcommittee 41, which is ICV sub-technical committee. And SC 41, there are 4 working groups, ADAS working group, autonomous driving working group, network and application working group, resources management and information services. And also there are two expert or consultation working group, working with international regulations and standardizations, and also the some foreign advisory working groups. And it need to be noted that Kadak is under MIT. So basically, the vehicle-related ICV standards and ICV technologies and development is currently under development, is under management of MIT, and the communication. the out-car communication protocols and technologies are also managed by MIT with telecommunication. But the connection with the infrastructure and intelligent transportation, the road, this is also the feature of China. The road, the highways, the roads, the traffic lights sort of thing are managed by Ministry of Transportation. So they need a lot of coordination for the sense outside the car. Besides the key standardization, besides the key ICV standards developer, National Technical Committee of Auto Standardization, there are also some other SDOs involved in the ICV. First is China Communication Standards Association, CCSA. They are in charge with telecommunication standards and communication protocols and interfaces of interoperability stuff. And the other one is Cryptography Standardization Technical Committee. So basically, it in charge with car security, cryptography technology and standards. The other one is a Traffic Management Standardization Committee, TCTM. So it is in charge with traffic or with intelligent transportation, which will have connection or interoperability or interface with ICV. So they also coordinate or work together with this technical committee. And also China Society of Automotive Engineers. So basically, this is the association, and they are working on the technology roadmap, and also they starting to work on some association standards for ICV, and also the ITS Intelligent Transportation Standard System Committee. And this TCITS is under Ministry of Transportation, MOT. So basically, it has the latency and working coordination with CADAC, with the TC114 on ICV. And there are also there is an agreement of 4 organizations, which are NTCAS, TCITS, CCSA, and TCTM. So they sign a framework agreement on C2 V2X standards cooperation. So basically, it will manage the altogether to set up efficient exchange systems, to support and participate in research, and also to set up standards. So basically, the target is to coordinate different organizations to have set up harmonized standards in case there's some overlapping or conflicting. So basically, in 2020, there are 3 action plans of ICV standardization work. First is to set up ADAS and low-level autonomous driving system standardization system, and also to coordinate international standards and regulation on ICV, to follow up, coordinate, and participate in international ICV standardization and regulation activity. And also the inside China, the experts are focused on basic and general standards, and some standards in the intelligent vehicle standards, or some cross-sector synergies and co-development standards. So under these 3 action plans or focus, there are already some achievements in ICV standardization demands. Although in the guideline, in the ICV standardization guideline, is set up 100 standards project, but still the National Technical Committee had make some research on ICV standards demands. So what kind of standards need to be done? What information need to be collected, and what technology it should be used. So basically, until September 2020, 17 research projects have been identified, and four of them have been finished. So this is the list of the research project, like analysis on the demands for ICV telecommunications, like the vehicle perception fusion technology, like the autonomous driving delivery vehicles, like the autonomous driving map technology, or the alternative driving simulation testing and intelligent parking or testing devices for ICV. So here is all the project name and the project team. And 4 of them have been finished, and they are the ICV communications, and also the geographic information technology for autonomous driving, and also autonomous driving of delivery vehicles, and what is the standardization demands for vehicle perception and sensor fusion technology. So these 4 has already been identified, and some of the standards, new project proposal have been identified for these 4 areas. And still, this is the guideline of the document from MIT, published in 2017. And 100 standards projects were planned according to the structure. And in the National Technical Committee of Auto Standards, they made some modification and made some sub working groups or sub activities according to their structure. So basically, first they set up the autonomous driving, but only roadmap for standards has been set up. And also they set up the ADAS standard system, and also the vehicle information security system. And another one is roadmap for network connecting and application. It made several modules about scenario standards, general requirement standards, and basic standards like terms and definition for the network connecting and application, how the vehicles can connect to the outside world, to any other things. And also the vehicle operation system, like basic standards, the OS technical requirements and evaluation methods, and the operating system architecture, and also application oriented interfaces and collection information and hardware oriented interfaces. So these 5 subsystems has been made by the National Technical Committee for ICV, and they have already set up the standards roadmap and also the standards plan. So how many standards, what is the progress for standards drafting in this technical committee? Why we talk about the technical committee? Because they are the most important vehicle technical committee in China, and all the inside car technologies or standards are made by this technical committee. That's why we focus only in their activity, and others interoperabilities or interfaces. We will have some other sectors. We will have some other webinars to make detailed discussion. So this one, the foundations and common standards for ICV, it covers the terms and definitions. So the NP new project has been set up for the ICV terms and definitions. I believe this is very important because look, I cannot not use the a term and confirm definition from a standards. I can only refer to official documents and also the terms and definitions for ADAS system. And also they made the marks and signs like controls and signal for ICV and the priority for advanced auxiliary driving systems, and also the automation classification for autonomous driving, and also general requirements for the data of ICV. And also there is a one for general functions like general technical requirements for updating of vehicle software. So all this are some of them are in the draft for approval stage, and some of them are in new project stage. And this is autonomous driving standards. There are several NP, and they are all currently under drafting, and also some testing methods has been standards also have set up the new project proposals or new project. This is communication and connections of ICV. So they have application scenarios, general requirements, and also some research have done like analysis of demanding for ICV communication. So this is the current situation. And the functional safety, like overall requirements, key systems, some standards have been in draft for approval, like GB is compulsory standards, like basic requirements for automotive steering, and also the functions requirements and testing methods for LKA. And also other like functional safety of road vehicles. So basically, functional safety is most of the standards are compulsory standards. So they are closely related to the safety requirements for ICV. And also the progress in information security. It need to be noted that the information security standards of ICV are also made by National Technical Committee of Auto Standardization. Although that nationally there is a security standardization committee named SACTC 260, but basically the security standards currently are made by the technical committees, and they will in the future coordinate with TC 260 for this matter. But basically, it covers management system, vehicles, and also the key systems and key components. So the standards, information security engineering have been set up as a new project, and a guideline for emergency response to vehicle information security, and regulations for risk assessment, and guidelines for emergency response to information security. Anyway, the other key components and systems, so they have a lot of new projects set up, like perception paths, ADAS, around 20 standard projects, and also other essential system paths. About 3 standards has been identified. They are all in the very preliminary stage. And some of the standards have already been finished and published. For example, in ADAS system, it has a GBT standards performance requirements and testing methods for electronics stability control systems for commercial vehicles, or the performance requirements and testing method for advanced emergency braking systems, and one functional safety standards from GBT 34590 from 1 to 10 for road vehicles for functional safety. The functional safety standards are very old one, and currently they are under modification, updating, revision. And the standards has been tested and verified. So a lot of efforts and has been done by the National Technical Committee and CADAC, and they closely work with local governments on making the testing. So the 16 standards have been tested and verified, and the testing city you can see like Shanghai, like Xiangyang, like Chongqing. So basically, the results they have verified those standards, and in the future those standards will be published soon. So that is all for national standardization activities. Meanwhile, the China ICV standards committees are also closely work internationally. So they have work closely with WT29, and they jointly propose the autonomous driving regulation coordination framework. And in the working group, China is a vice chair for autonomous driving and network connecting. And also in some informal working groups, China taking some like a joint chair for the function requirements, and also deeply participate in many other activities like autonomous driving data recording, autonomous driving vehicle evaluation methods. So from this list, we can see that China is deeply involved with UNECE W29 activities. And in ISO level, China also deeply involved or participate in several standards. For example, the ISO TC22, SE31, China participate in strategic planning, strategic advisory group, and autonomous driving coordination working group. And also they work in SE31 with several standards. And the SE32 functional safety vocabularies, safety of the intended functionality, and also the cybersecurity engineering standards. Meanwhile, in the last column, China is a convener of autonomous driving test scenario standards in SE33. So the standards are listed here, and because China is deeply involved, participate in these standards. So I observe that we believe that after the ISO standards has been published, China will adopt those standards nationally. And in IEC level, CADAC is a mirror committee of a newly established IEC SG11, Future Sustainable Transportation in China. So we can see it is CADAC, rather the Ministry of Transportation, taking the mirror committee of China. So more cooperation will be done in this area. So conclusions and takeaways for today. First, we can see that China ICV standardization work mainly takes place in CADAC. And currently, the standardization work is cover all the aspects, including the basics, foundations like terminologies, autonomous driving, network connecting, function safety, information security, and also other areas. but only a small portion, a small part of standards are finished, and more standards are under development. We also try to make some comparison between China and the EU, but because ICV is a very new technology emerged, so basically in ISO and IEC, there are not many standards published as either. So basically, China, we cannot tell whether China is leading or China is faster than ISO IEC or not, but further investigation will be done in this area. And more progress are made in ADAS standards compared to other paths. So basically, the target is to make 30 standards, key standards by 2020, but because of the COVID pandemic and also other issues, it is unlikely to be achieved. And also, so there's because Internet of Vehicles are comprehensive systems and related, and it is connected with many other technologies and many other areas, and also the economic results are not foreseen by the industry at this moment, somewhat to some extent. So there's still a long way to go to establish the standards and also the technology system. So it is now for today. And if you have any questions, you can leave on the charting system, and we will try to I will try to answer your questions one by one. And also it is need to know that this presentation we got a lot of help from CADAC, so we want to see that this is based on the analysis of MIT and CADAC activity on ICV on ICV standardization activity. So any questions, please leave it on the chat box. So we will leave 5 minutes for questions. Please, if you do not have any questions, we will finish our webinar in 5 minutes. Here is a question. When did you switch from LET V2X to 5G V2X? I believe it is not, the timeline is not confirmed yet. So it really depends on the development of 5G. And currently, there's a lot of report about the problems developed in 5G. So I believe that in a long time, the LET, V2X, and 5G will coexist. And yeah, so we do not have the confirmed timeline yet. Will it be available further to this? Will it be available further to this webinar? What are you? So you mean that? Do you mean that we can have more for this? Yes. I'm working one by one. This is for ICV, and maybe one or the presentation itself. Yeah. the presentation, we will distribute the presentation and PPT to all the audience, all the audience for today. And meanwhile, I will also do some other webinar in 1 or 2 months for telecommunication systems and for the management systems in the future. And also, if you still have more questions, you can send us email. Yeah, you can send us email if you do not have question now, but you found out you have some questions later. Okay, it seems that I made a very clear presentation and we do not have any more questions from the participants. I know because it is just because I just made some presentation, not much comparison and comparison analysis has been done. I believe in the future, once we do more for the analysis and comparison with China and EU, I believe more question will come. Oh, here we come another question. During the presentation, you mentioned that GB standards are mandatory. There are other standards released this year as YDT. Yeah. So the question about first question, you mentioned that GB standards are mandatory. There are some other standards like YDT. Basically, according to China standardization law, GB only national standards are compulsory. GBT, YDT, T means voluntary. So GBT and YDT standards are not mandatory. They are all voluntary standards. The second one, TC 204 was not mentioned, but lots of V2V and V2X standards are being developed there. The standards in development in China take into account to these standards. You have to in China, the technical committee are mirror to each technical committee mirror one ISO or IEC technical committee. So basically, I believe the ISO TC 204 mirror committee in China are closely follow with closely observe or deeply participate in ISO TC 204 standards. So I believe that in some other we did not do the further investigation at this moment, but I believe in some other technical committees, they are also working closely in this area. But for national TC of auto standardization, they are mirroring ISO TC 22, so they are more working closely with ISO TC 22. I believe I found difficult to determine which standards must be compliant to and for which purpose, like certification or market access. So basically, if you are car manufacturers, so the traditional car, China have several certification scheme and market access requirements. For example, the MIT, the MIT type testing, and also SAMR CCC, and also Ministry of Transportation, the commercial delivery road certification. Anyway, basically, the standards, if they are compulsory standards, GB, not GBT, GB standards must be complied, and they are market access requirements. And basically, if you see the name, you can see that they are the purpose. But otherwise, you can't tell the certification and the market access requirements purely by the standards name. You have to go deep to the certification scheme to check which standards which standards do they refer to and do they use to, or which testing methods or which requirements do they set up in their certification scheme. And for ICV at this moment, there is not certification scheme set up yet, but some compulsory standards have already been drafted or set up for the ICV, like those functional safety standards. They are market access requirements and they are compulsory. I believe in the future, after all the standards and all the industry have make a mature development of the ICV, China will introduce the certification scheme and the market access requirements for the ICV. So in that time, you can check under the the certification scheme which standards are used. So GB standards is compulsory, but under the certification scheme, some GBT standards are referred by them. So they are also de facto mandatory in China as well. I hope I answered this question because it's quite difficult. Even a very experienced engineer or experts in China have to check the materials to find out which standards are used for which purpose. Any other questions? If no, I will close the webinar for today. And thank you very much for your participation. And we will send you the presentations via email. And I hope to see you again in some other scenarios. Thank you. Bye.